Mr. Davidson, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I thank our witnesses. I appreciate the work you've done today. And I just want to share that in May of 2020, the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation unveiled a working proof of concept called Project Ion. And this project, DTCC said they would examine the potential use of distributed ledger technology in accelerating the clearing and settlement process. Now, since Project Ion was publicly announced, we've received little information pertaining to its progress. As a longtime advocate for this emerging technology, distributed ledger technology and blockchain, today I've sent a letter to the DTCC to request that they provide an update on the status of Project Ion. And I look forward to hearing back from them. Hope to include them in our next hearing. Mr. Griffin, with Project Ion in mind, could you briefly state what would be your biggest concern if DTCC implements same-day clearing and settlement?
Same-day clearing and settlement requires that every bit of the workflow is perfectly synchronized across all parties, and we have no time for recoverability or for error management that you have in an overnight batch process.
Right. So the technology makes that essential. In my assessment, many that is inherent to the architecture for blockchain to move forward with each proof. And so I guess clearly in your business, just to follow up there, the technology exists where, you know, for trading firms that are engaged in high frequency trading, you measure success in the course of the day in what, milliseconds for high frequency trading?
So as you know, we are the largest market maker in the world and the largest in the United States in equities. We put great emphasis on the performance of our systems. That was one of the reasons that on the week of January 24th, we were the only major market center for retail order flow that was responsive every minute of every trading day.
Perfect. So I just wanted to make the point that I think the technology exists, whether you use blockchain or not, and you know, applaud you for having the ability to execute with precision swiftly already. And I don't think it's a barrier. And I'd love to have more dialogue, but unfortunately I have to go to a few others. You know, Mr. Tenev, do you believe that the root cause of January 28th for the problems that you and others experienced were market infrastructure related, particularly related to T2 versus T0?
I believe, thank you, Congressman. I do believe if we had real-time settlement capability and the infrastructure was modernized, we would not have seen similar problems.
Yeah, and thanks for that. I think, you know, one of the related things, and it's related to your mission at Robinhood of more democratic access to capital, is not just the ability for more people in a broader portion of America to become savers and investors. It's also to engage in corporate governance even. So do you believe that if market infrastructure would guarantee, and this is really related to, you know, the you know, musical shares where someone could be left with no share when the music stops, multiple claims on a shorted stock. If the market infrastructure would guarantee an investor could retain custody of their shares so that the shares can't be lent to short sellers, there could be downside. How do you feel that only one claim on the shares would resolve this? And that relates to proxy voting as well, or shareholders voting the shares.
Congressman, I believe that that's an important question. It's one that Robinhood and me personally have engaged with. I do believe that the ability for the same share to be shorted an indefinite number of times is somewhat of a pathology, and that should be fixed. And I think step one of that is modernizing the antiquated settlement infrastructure that everything is built on. We simply don't have the ability to properly track what shares have been shorted and how many times as they're moving through our settlement system currently.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I appreciate that you see the relationship. Hopefully broadly we do, and we provide that nudge the market needs. I want to commend Vice Chancellor Travis Laster of the Delaware Chancellery Court for his letter and paper, The Blockchain Plunger, which explains how this could be done. And I ask unanimous consent to submit that to the record. As my time expires, I want to commend you, Mr. Gill, for just representing a large segment of the industry, in my view, where savvy investors have had an opportunity to engage. And it relates to people with diamond hands that hold. So you might not call yourself a holder, you might use the word diamond hands, but thanks and congratulations for your success.